I believe too. It's 7:15.
Yes.
Is
Shall
everyone
we?
ready?
Bismillah Hasan.
Omar Farouk, are we good to go?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Marhaba, welcome to the 300th meeting of Horizon Toastmasters Club number 01097255, Area 31, Division F, District 79. I am Toastmaster Muhammad Hassan, the acting Sergeant at Arms of the club. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self confidence and personal growth. Before we proceed, may I remind everyone to please mute your cell phones or set them on silent mode and ensure that you avoid any unnecessary noises or movements while the meeting is in progress. It is a humble request to not post any messages while speeches are in progress. However, if there is any urgent requirement, kindly send private message to the relevant individual. Before proceeding further, let's welcome our very special guest, Distinguished Toastmaster International President Richard E. Peck and First Lady Distinguished Toastmaster Betty M. Peck, the video prepared by Horizon Toastmasters Club members.
In the times where the world is shrinking, the horizon spreads its wings and soars higher. We, the Horizon members, welcome our International President, Distinguished Toastmaster Richard E. Peck, and his wife, Betty Ann Peck, to the home of...
It's lovely.
You don't want to go for a ride, do you? We could get out of the palace, see the world.
Is it safe?
Sure, do you trust me?
What?
Do you trust me?
Yes.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go. We're dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world with
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your breath,
things
it
to
gets
see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I used to be. Every turn a surprise.
Horizons
Every
you
moment red
perceive.
letter.
I'll chase them anywhere.
There's time to spare.
Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world. That's where we'll
International President of the meeting.
thrilling chase.
Wondrous place for you and me.
Once again, a very warm welcome to our International President, Distinguished Toastmaster Richard E. Peck, and our First Lady, Distinguished Toastmaster Betty Ann Peck. Now, it's time to welcome our presiding officer for this evening, a very congenial personality, Toastmaster Umar Farooq Awan. Virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, Sergeant Chitams. And such a wonderful and such a heartfelt video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and marhaba to everybody around the world. And welcome to the 300th meeting of Horizon Toastmasters Club. It's a great pleasure to have you all with us. And I would like to, we are all in the presence of royalty, you know. We have with us our international president, English Toastmaster Richard E. Peck, and his wife as a journal evaluator for our meeting, Distinguished Toastmaster Betty Ann Peck. So it's a great, great honor to have you all with us, both of you, and all the senior dignitaries and the guests. You are the people that make this meeting awesome and amazing. So wonderful. I would like to start with this thought that in December 3rd December 2007, a club was formed. Do you know what was the name of that club? Any guesses?
Rise.
Horizon.
No, the club's name was Oracle Toastmasters Club. But after few months of deliberations, it was changed to Horizon Toastmasters Club. It was a club that was formed by a group of Indian international school teachers to improve their leadership and communication skills. Now, here we stand, completing the 3 centuries of meetings. And what a journey it has been. Full of learning, full of education, and fun filled. In Horizon, we always say that we are not just members, we are not just a club, we are a family. And we treat each other like that. The club that shares a rich history, the club that is called the home of champions, the club that has been 8 times president distinguished out of 13 years, and third time in a row,
that would empower peasants and workers under the firm leadership.
third time in a row consecutive this president distinguished. This year we scored perfect 10 on the DCP points. 3 times select distinguished, 1 time distinguished. And what more? In 2018, we got our first runner-up, Toastmaster Javeria Khan, as our district final one of the first runner-up, District 79 for international speech. In 2019, evaluation champion, our district finalist, Toastmaster Jeffrey Aquino. And 2020, we are again rocking. That's why we are called the home of champions. Our competitors, our family members will be competing for district for humorous and table topics after conquering the division area. So that's what Horizon is all about. It all started as a pandemic when last year, in March, when all the world went into lockdown. And everybody was struggling, what will happen, what will be the future, how the Toastmasters meeting will be held. But what Horizon did is different. We brought the whole world to our club. We organized meetings that were full of learnings and education and fun at the same time, and with global audience as our attendance. So that's what Horizon is all about. And we also try to have educational workshops, have fun activities, bonding, everything. So everybody stays motivated. That's what Toastmasters is all about. Learning in the moments of enjoyment. Isn't that the truth? Yes. So, yes. So, let's see the highlights of our championing moments. Toastmaster Jared, can we have the video of our champions?
Clear the way in the old bazaar. Hey, you, let us through. It's a brand new start. Oh, come be the first on your block to meet his eye. Make way, here he comes. Ring bells, bang the drum. You're gonna love this guy. Prince Ali, fabulous. He, Ali Ababa. Show some respect. Boy, genuflect down on one knee. Now try your best to stay calm. Brush up your
Thank you.
Imagine that you are Wonder Woman and you have a dream stone that can grant you one wish. Only one wish. What would it be?
Wonderful and awesome, great moments to cherish. We learn by doing. We learn when we are having fun and we are enjoy every bit of it. Here we are friends, here we are family, and here we are each other to support. That's the spirit of Horizon Toastmasters Club. And we all welcome you all to become a part of it, this big family. With this, I would like to move on. I will call our acting secretary, Toastmaster Vicky Chudian, to read the minutes of meeting number 299. Over to you, Toastmaster Vicky.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Omar Farouk. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Marhaba, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my pleasure to be reading the minutes of meeting number 299 for the purpose of this meeting. Minutes of meeting number 299 held on April 19, 2021. The meeting started at exactly 7:15 in the evening, and this is a purely table topic marathon meeting. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Muhammad Hassan called the meeting to order. Presiding Officer Toastmaster Omar Farouk Awan welcomed the guests and conducted the business session of the meeting. Table Topics Master Toastmaster Omar Farouk introduced the role players, such as the timers and the table topic evaluator. Timer was Toastmaster Gopal, and table topic evaluator was Toastmaster Ricky Chwidian. There were 11 attendees as follows: 5 members and 6 guests. The meeting adjourned at 8 p.m. Now back to you, President Toastmaster Omar Farouk.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Vicky. So, are there any addition, deletion, or changes to be made to the minutes of the meeting? If there is no show of hands, okay, then minutes of the meeting are accepted as read and final. So, let's move on. I would like to acknowledge presence of our distinguished Toastmaster Lancy D'Souza. He is with us also. Great to have you with us, sir. And
Thank
with
you.
this, yes, great to have you with us, sir. So now, let's move on to the Toastmaster of the day. He is one of the dear friends. He is the evaluation champion and international speech champion of this club. He
who was a finalist for Evaluation Championship in 2019. And 2020, he was International Speech Champion finalist in district. He is none other than the Caped, the Superman, Toastmaster, Crown Prince, Jeffrey Aquino. Over to you as Toastmaster of the day.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the current world of pandemic. Marhaba. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Arabian night of the host club, the Horizon Toastmasters Club. It was indeed the club of the champions. To our distinguished guest, the international president, DTM Richard Peck and Madam Betty Ann Peck, together with our illustrious and stupendous Toastmasters all over the globe, especially to my neighbor country, Bahrain, where DTM Amor is there. Madam DTM Amor, hello and good evening. Fellow Toastmasters, it is my pride and honor to be the Toastmasters of the day for this 300 meeting of this club. I will never get the hold, so I will going to introduce to you my role. As the Toastmaster of the day, it is my duties and responsibility to be the spearheader of this meeting. And it's also my duty to conduct the meeting in such a bubbly yet democratic way. And I also have some of my illustrious champions and fellow members of this club who will perform their roles and duties to their best level. In this meeting, we have the business session, the educational session, which is divided into 3 categories or 3 sub-sessions, the prepared speech session, where you will listen to the most provocative or persuasive, inspirational, informative speeches of our prepared speakers. It will also be followed by the table topics, the most exciting one, and of course, the heart of the Toastmasters meeting, where I can say that I have the eye and the heart of being the evaluation champion, the evaluation sessions. May I proceed to the business session? May I ask the President and the Vice President for Education if there are any modifications, amendments, or changes in the agenda?
I think there is one change. Our timer is not being able to be, he will not be able to attend. So he's in a remote place. So I will be taking the place as the timer.
All right, then. That is well noted. The timer will be replaced by our ever dynamic Toastmaster, Umar Farouk Awan. With this, may I request our ever dynamic and hardworking Zoom master, the District 79 Technical Advisor and Assistant, TM JR George, please assist me to show the Toastmaster. To present the Toastmaster, we have Toastmaster Nuha Madani. Toastmaster Nuha Madani, also known as Yara, believes that teaching is love in its purest form. She loves rain, chocolates, reading, music, and all simple things that change my mood. Most of all her family, I say I belong to this group. All over to you, Toastmaster Nuha, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Marhaba, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Do you want to cross the gate of success? Then bear with me for 1 minute and I'll show you the road. There is a famous Arabic proverb that says, البداية هي نصف كل شيء والسؤال هو نصف المعرفة. The beginning is half of everything and the question is half of. To be successful, you have to do the first step right now. Think of what would you want to do, even if it's a small idea. Don't wait for big ideas because big idea build on it. Make it big. Put thoughts on it. Put efforts on it. And when you're stuck, look for someone who has the knowledge and ask him. With those two simple things, you can cross the gate of success. There's a famous Arabic story about a farmer who was preparing the land for seeds, and he encountered a big rock, and he started hitting that rock. The first one, the second one, the third, the fourth, the 100th. It wasn't until the 100th that the rock was broken. Was it the 100th hit that broke the rock? No. The first one is as important as the 100th one. First step is important. Start it now. Do something you love. Start maybe a Toastmasters club that someday will celebrate the 300th meetings. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much to our Toastmaster, the fairy instigator, Madam Toastmaster Nuha. How about a big hand to welcome our grammarian, a good friend of mine from a neighboring place. Let us all welcome the champion, seasoned Toastmaster, purest heart with a purest soul, Toastmaster grammarian, Toastmaster Artie, the wordsmith.
Hello, TFOD. Good evening, everybody. Assalamualaikum, marhaba. I am your grammarian, and as the grammarian, I will be monitoring and will write down the language and grammar usage of all speakers, noting incomplete sentences, mispronunciations, grammatical mistakes, non-sequiturs, malapropisms, etc. I will also introduce a new word to the meeting participants, and tonight's word of the day is marhaba, spelled as M-A-R-A-H-A-B-A, marhaba. It is pronounced as marhaba. It is an interjection, which means welcome or hello in Arabic. It is derived from the root word rahiba, which means to make welcome. At the end of the meeting, I will give my complete report when called upon by the general evaluator. Marhaba to everyone, and back to you, our Crown Prince Jeffrey Aquino.
Shukriya marhaba Toastmaster Artie Flores for your explanation of your role. And of course, we will be entertained by our general evaluator on her glitz and glamour with sophistication. It is my distinct privilege to introduce to you our general evaluator. She is the distinguished Toastmaster and a member of two clubs in the United States, the Park City Toastmasters of Stratford and the New England Advanced Toastmasters, both in District 53, just outside of the New York City in Connecticut. She has been an active and a passionate Toastmaster since joining in 2015 and just happens to be married to no other than and no less than the International President, Richard E. Peck. Our International President and really enjoys that he now works for her as a member along with all of you here. Let us bring the roof all over for DTM, Betty Ann Peck, Her Majesty.
Wow, Maharaba.
Marhaba.
All of you speak better English than I do. So I love the Saudi Arabian spin on all of this, the brilliant introduction. Can everybody hear me okay?
I think yes.
Good, because I still have this big block in my screen that says, please unmute yourself. I need that more often. Again, welcome. And it is my humbled and honored privilege to be here and serve as your general evaluator this evening. Now, we all do different roles, and we all do them differently in different countries, sometimes the same countries. So my role tonight is to introduce our timer first, Umar, to explain your role in the meeting and what you will be doing.
Yes, and DTM Betty Ann. I will be the timer. Time is money, so we should spend it well. So I will be your money keeper. Let's see how much you can utilize time as if you are treating it as money. So for timers, for prepared speeches, it is 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes it will be. I will tell you how it will go again. Let's see. The virtual background will be coming up.
That's what we're waiting for. The drum roll.
Drum roll.
Give us the color.
Yes. Color. This will be your green for 5 minutes green,
Wow,
and you
good.
will have 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes will be red, and 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. And for table topics, we will be having 1 minute will be green, and 1.5 minutes it will be yellow, and 2 minutes it will be red. So that's how it will. And for evaluation session, we will have speech evaluation, 2 minutes green, 2.5 minutes it will be yellow, and 3 minutes it will be red, and 30 seconds to wrap up your evaluation speech. For grammarian, it's a 5-minute speech, so 3 minutes it will be green. Okay, and 4 minutes it will be yellow, and 5 minutes it will be red. 30 seconds to wrap up the speech. For table topics evaluator, it is particularly, you have to note that every speaker 30 seconds you have to evaluate them. So overall, depending on the number of speakers, 5 speakers, you have 2.5 minutes plus 30 seconds. So from that point of view, you will be timed accordingly. With this, I would like to hand over the virtual lecture back to our general editor, Betty Ann Pegg, distinguished Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Umar. Fabulous. My eyes were looking down as I was watching all those colors pull up, and you did fabulous. We have a group of evaluators tonight as well. And before I go off on the timer section, Umar, you'll be able to present your report at the end of the evening. Is that correct? Perfect. We look forward to it. And because this is a different setup than what I'm used to, we now have our ah counter, which is very different because in our club, it's combined. So please, the Prince of Persia, Mahaba, please tell us what you're going to do.
Assalamu alaikum, marhaba to all of us. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the known universe. In this meeting, as the counter, I will take note of words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. And during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and, you know. I will also listen for phrase. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such or this means, and at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Back to you, Your Majesty.
My last question for the ah counter is, can you teach me how to say ah in Arabic so I can repeat it at my meeting? No, you've got to do better than that.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
I know, we have to figure out a way that we can switch these words to help us out. But thank you for that. And you also will be giving a report later on this evening. Correct me if it is the Fun Master that is being brought up next. Is that correct? And that
Yes.
Fun Master would be, oh, I can't even read it. She's not a serpent. She's
The
fabulous.
Serpent of the Nile, Madam Toastmaster Cleopatra Lada.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, my fellow beautiful toast gods and goddesses, my fellow sultans, my sheep, my Aladdins, my genie in the bottles, my pharaohs, and my princesses. Welcome. Yes, I am the Fun Master for today. And I am wearing all of my belly dancing garb, but I am not going to be belly dancing for you. I know, unfortunately. You all can actually unmute yourselves. This is a Fun Master segment, so I want to hear you hooping and hollering the whole way through. Okay, so I'm not belly dancing. What we're going to be doing today, because we here at Horizon, yes, we are the home of the champions, but we also are cutting edge here. And what we're going to do today, first time ever in Toastmaster history, we have the first ever Toasties belly dance battle. Belly dance battle, let's hear it. Woo! Belly dance battle. We have Toastmasters from all over the world that are coming here to join us. They're actually very, very good at what they do. They're from England, they're from New York, they're from California, the creme de la creme of Toastmastering belly dancers. Okay, so very simple. They're going to have 30 seconds to shake, shimmy, and show us their stuff. And then afterwards, I'd like for all of you to give the crowd favorite. 3 contestants, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to throw in the chat. Tell me which one is your crowd favorite. Okay, so here we go with our contest. Our first beautiful contestant is all the way from California, and that her belly dancing name is Wayu Furu. Wayu Furu, and she is our one and only beautiful Twyla Stout. Twyla, are you here? There you go, Twyla. And now she has learned all her belly dancing moves from Nira. She actually has a belly dancing teacher. So you guys are in for this. This is going to be a treat. And she said that her favorite place to dance actually is in her backyard, where she entertains all the feral cats in the neighborhood after dark. So yes, there you go, my dear. Yes, we're going to have a feral cat neighborhood after dark. Beautiful. Here we go. Get me out of full screen so I can give her her 30 seconds. And here we go. Hoop and holler as she goes for it. All right, Twyla. Okay, woo, Twyla, give her a big hoot and holler, yay, woo, 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 woo. I don't hear anybody, come on, let's give her a little bit of happy, happy. All right, thank you, Twyla, that was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so our next contestant is all the way from London, England. He is a fellow Toastmaster who is traveling oh my gosh, I don't think we're gonna recognize him. This is beautiful. This is Ruby Ram Oasis is his belly dancing name. Now he's learned all of his moves from watching, are you guys ready? The Simpsons. This is gonna be the Simpson style of belly dancing. And his favorite quote is, belly dance is a conversation between hip and soul. All right, let's give a big welcome to our next contestant, Ruby Ram Oasis. And here he goes. Go Ruby Ram! Awesome! You gotta pin him, because you gotta see this is real. You gotta pin him. All right. Yay, Ram! Woo! Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. All right, that's our second contestant. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Ruby Ram. And our third contestant, my brethren from New York. He actually is a dancer with Tribal Tassels Dance Troupe in Bronx, New York. He's inspired by Shakira's hips, and his favorite move is the shimmy. Now, his favorite quote is, "Do not dance like no one is watching. You should dance like everyone is watching. And get out there and show them how it is done." And here we have lovely Lotus Dave. And he is going to, oops, sorry, hold on. Here we go. He's going to give us his best moves. Here we go. Okay, drums. All right, here we go. Go for it, Dave! Woo! All right. Remember your favorite. Dave, go for it. Woo! All right. Woo! Thank you, Dave. That was beautiful. Woo, 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 woo. All right. Big hand for all of our beautiful contestants. For Wayu Furu, Miss Twyla, Ruby Ram Oasis, which is our wonderful Ram, and of course, lovely Lotus Dave. Now this is my segment, so I'm going to give the winner. And the winner is, of course, you can still vote for your crowd favorite, which is going to be at the end, but the winner is Wayu Furu, Ruby Ram Oasis, and lovely Lotus Dave. You're all the winners because you're all going on to district. You're all going on to district. Yeah, woo! Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. And back to, that was our wonderful, again, round of applause for all our beautiful contestants. And back to our wonderful Crown Prince Toast God of the evening. Thank you so much. Woo!
Shukran,
Woo!
Madam Lada.
All right.
Thank you very much on that. Such a very sizzling performances of our dancers, the belly dancers. May I ask our general evaluator if she going to take back the podium? Madam General Evaluator, please. You're muted at the moment.
Just testing. Just testing.
All right.
And you can see and hear me okay?
Yes, madam.
Now, this section is separate from what I'm accustomed to, so it is my understanding that I would turn the meeting back over to you, or am I introducing our evaluators for later this evening?
All right, then.
Did you want me to introduce the evaluators for this evening?
I guess you will have to hand over the podium back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Perfect. That was a great intro. Back to you, Crown Prince.
Marhaba once again, Madam Toastmaster Marian Peck. All right, as we were amazed and amused by those performances from our fan master, Toastmaster Lada, and the performances of the three contestants, congratulations. We will be enthralled by a heartwarming, inspirational speeches or delivery of their projects in our prepared speech session, which is under the educational session. As our Toastmaster of the day, it is my pride also to announce that we have two wonderful, eloquent, and astonishing speakers for tonight. To start up, we have Toastmaster Pragya Jain, the International Speech Contest Practice. And with that, may I ask the evaluator to please state the objectives. The first evaluator, Toastmaster Srinivasan Ramaraj. The floor is yours.
Marhaba, Toastmaster of the day, and my fellow Toastmasters, it is marhaba to everybody. Today we have Toastmaster Pragya Jain to present her speech that she is going to practice, she is going to deliver rather in this attack. The title of this speech is Masked, and for the benefit of the timer, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. And Toastmaster Pragya, we wish you all the best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evaluator, Toastmaster Srinivasan. I request to all the participants to please mute themselves as we welcome our first speaker. Toastmaster Pragya, please acknowledge if you're here. Say hi and hello.
Hi. Am
Yeah,
I audible?
Yes, you are. Toastmaster Pragya Jain, mask. Mask, Toastmaster Pragya Jain.
Imagine you look into the mirror, but you don't see yourself. You see a masked face staring back at you. Would you be scared? I was. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends. A few days before my 13th birthday, I was joyous beyond words. My dad had finally got a week's break after months and months, and he promised to spend every minute of it with me. The joy, however, ended with a tragedy. While he was returning back from his office, a car accident took him away from us forever, leaving me and my mother behind. After a few days, I could see my mother acting her normal self, as if nothing has happened. I asked her, "Didn't you love him? How can you be so normal?" My mother, with a glint of pain in her eyes, said, "I loved him the most. But how can I show this pain to the world? They won't understand. So are you pretending? But you always tell me to be myself. Oh, I don't understand what is happening here." As the days passed by, the feeling sank, and it was time for me to go back to my school. As I entered my school, it was a whole new world. I saw pitiful looks from everybody around. "Shh, she will not play with us. She just lost her father," said my dear friends. "Poor girl, how will she cope up?" said my teachers. It was hurting. But I decided to fake a smile so that they all believe that I am coping well with it. And I must say, this did work. They all started believing that I have gotten over my grief and I'm coping well with it. But was I really fine? On the outside, yes, you can see. But inside was a different story. I was still hurt. I had lost my phone. I was still broken. I was still in pain. But the mask I put did help me. A lot, I must say. But wasn't I mimicking my mom? Now I was understanding a little bit what she was doing. As time passed by, the need for putting these masks became more and more important. Not because I wanted to, but because I wanted to save myself from the world around. But there are times few masks stick so badly to you that you feel suffocated. At a particular instance, my family was having a family discussion and I was kept away from it. Those 2 hours when the discussion was going on, it was a storm in my head. Family matter discussion? Then why am I not a part of it? Am I not family? A family for which I lost everything? For which I lost my ambition to fit into the molds they wanted me to be? An ideal Pragya? Don't we all do that to fit into our relationship? What different did I do then? But finally, when my husband came out and asked me, "I hope you didn't feel left out. We were just discussing a family matter." I could not wear any more masks. I finally decided to take courage and peel off that masks. And I spoke. "Left out? Do you think this is what I really felt? After doing everything to fit into the molds you wanted me to be, the perfect ideal person, I made your family mine. But I I'm still not there yet. And this thing broke me because this was my strongest mask which I wore to keep everybody happy. But I finally now know the exhilarating experience of peeling that mask off and being myself. My fellow Toastmasters, today I urge you all. I know we all have been wearing these masks, sometimes to save our love, sometimes to save our family, sometimes to save ourselves. But I know the person behind that mask is stronger than all these masks. We all can cope up and we all can be stronger without these masks. So today, I urge you all to peel off the masks, at least in the places which matter a lot, if not at all the places. I know we all are strong, deep, and much powerful than these masks we have been wearing. If you don't take them off and throw them away now, you will lose your real self. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but worth it. And I know you all can do it and be yourself. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Prag. Sorry for that, Pragya Jane, for that unmasking message of yours. A big hand and I wish you the best of luck on your journey to the district competitions. Next, we have in line to deliver effective coaching level 2 speech number 2, understanding your communication style. I am somehow nostalgic in this project because I am one of his mentees. And effective coaching really showed. Without much further ado, Toastmaster Ricky Chudian to deliver his speech. But before that, we have his evaluator, Toastmaster Sangita Bhattacharya, for the objectives. Ma'am Sangita, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. The purpose of the project for the member is to learn about different communication styles and identify his or his primary style. The purpose of his speech is to share the impact of his style on others. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Evaluator Toastmaster Sanita. You're such a pretty face on your outfit today. Fellow Toastmasters and our valued guest, Toastmaster Ricky, please say hi and hello.
Hi and hello.
All right. Toastmaster Ricky Chudian, Mr. International. Mr. International, Toastmaster Ricky Chudian.
مرحب مرحب يا هلال أهلا أهلا كيف الحال قد غبت وعليك اشتقنا وأنت هبدك صار وصال مرحبا. What better way to open up my speech than to welcome you all with this Arabic song? That is such a great pleasure to have sung with you a Ramadan song, which is popularized by one of Kuwaiti's famous singers, Humud. Well, the song actually literally translates to hello, hello, O crescent moon. Welcome, welcome. How do you do? You have departed and we missed you. Now your retirement is over. It's about time to have a reunion. Marhaban bikum fi Horizon Toastmasters Club. Welcome to Horizon Toastmasters Club. There is a saying that music is the universal language of mankind. Where words fall, music speaks. Imagine that the world is made up of about 7,139 different languages. Although about 23 only of these languages are being spoken of about more than half of the world's population. So how can we have this kind of communication and understanding among people? Remember that communication is the exchange of ideas or information through speaking, writing, or maybe even through dance and music. Well, to give you a brief background about myself, I am a sociable, enthusiastic person. I tend to be comfortable with speaking with people, and I easily get them influenced by the spontaneity and fun loving nature that I have. As a person who loves traveling, well, I have this experience when I went to Italy where I struggled so much. I went to one Italian pizza shop where I tried to order pizza. And then the cashier will keep on greeting me, ni hao ma, ni hao. Well, there I was, struggling myself to speak the smallest of Italian word, ciao. Please, I would just like to order a piece of pizza. He thought that I was a Chinese, and I could not blame him for that. Well, I've always been mistaken for being Asian, Chinese, or Korean. Last year, when I went to Taiwan, I was on a plane and this attendant was handing over this piece of paper for the customs. This is especially for the non Chinese people. I was wondering that he skipped my place. And when everyone else is over writing their piece of papers, I asked the attendant, "Why did you not give me that paper?" And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were Chinese." Well, my bad. I love Korean food. I love Korean movies and TV series, although I've never been to Korea. But sometimes too much love for certain things like this Korean makes me Korean in nature. There was a time last month when I called my mother and I said, "Hello, Mama. You received the money that I sent you." "Oh, not that yet. What do you want to do? Follow up with the bank." I sounded Korean even if I was speaking English. I can't help it but get absorbing all of these things that I've been experiencing all around me. And there was a time also here in Saudi Arabia, most people think that all Filipinos are baristas working in a coffee shop. There was a time that I went to Starbucks coffee a couple of months ago, and it so happened that I was wearing black shirt, same as the uniform of those crew members. So while I was there at the cashier, one British guy approached me. He said, "Excuse my mate, I would love to have a cup of coffee, please." So I looked at him and said, "Yeah, me too. Non-fat milk, please." He was so embarrassed, so he wanted to apologize. You know, I just don't know how he made it appear as if it was my fault. So he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, mate, but what are you doing here?" And I said, "Yeah, because you took my chair. You British, you want to colonize everything, even my chair here at Starbucks." Oh my God. I'm just trying to insist on something with this guy. No, the problem with communication is sometimes there is no clear exchange of words between the speaker and the recipient. But I'm happy to say that, being energetic and expressive in nature, I have this tendency to talk more than listen. So people think that I don't usually listen to them, when in fact I do. Take it from my mentees. They know how patient I am listening to all of them. No, this makes me some kind of an initiating communicator. There are certain aspects of our day-to-day communication that depicts how we speak and how we talk to each other. Do we only talk and not listen? Or do we give others a chance to also say what they want and in the end have a discussion? So fellow Toastmasters, remember that communication is a two-way channel, giving and receiving. We need to understand that in order to have a successful communication, the sender should be able to transmit the message to the recipient. You don't need to be a linguist or a Mr. International like me in order to be a great communicator. You need not only to open your ears, but also your hearts. Because the most important thing in communication is to hear what is not being said. Shukriya. Assalamualaikum. Marhaba. Now back to you, Crown Prince.
Wallahi, very good, very good. That is the way how Arab speaks or Saudis speaks when they acknowledge such a very magnificent performance. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ricky, for such a wonderful message that you have imparted to us. It was indeed a heartwarming as well. Now, listen to me because I will be your mentor when you compete for the international speech soon. Just kidding. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this prepared speech sessions, and our club president will give the podium back. I'll give the podium back to him to give the second part of our session, the club promotion. Toastmaster Umar Farouk, the proudest president of the Home of Champions.
I think it is done. We moved it to the initial part of that we have done.
Thank you very much on taking that step, Toastmaster Umar Farouk. And we have now come to the highlights of this event. Our keynote speech will be addressed by no less than our guest speaker. I am pleased to introduce Toastmasters International President Richard E. Peck. For over 30 years, Richard was a senior member of the Network Support Division at AT&T. The Seymour, Connecticut resident led cross-functional teams to successfully deliver million-dollar high-tech projects. Outside of Toastmasters, Richard has served as a club president, a lieutenant governor for Kiwanis International. He's a member of Lions Club and has also worked in various capacities with the Catholic War veterans. He also holds a board seat in his local town government. Richard is a professionally licensed race car driver, like Schumacher, wow, and in his limited spare time can be found at the racetrack as either a driver or a spectator. At Toastmasters since 2006, Richard is a member of Nutmeg Toastmasters Club in Woodbridge, Connecticut, and he's also currently of Park City Toastmasters Club in Stratford, Connecticut. Please help me in welcoming the international president. Woo! No other than the distinguished Toastmaster Richard E. Peck.
Mahaba, Your Royal Highness. And
Marhaba.
welcome to all the rest.
Assalamu
By
alaikum.
show of hands, would you like to be successful? Not a lot of hands. Oh, good. There they are. In the chat window, tell me what success looks like to you. What does that mean when you think of success? We know Mr. International already defined some of his successes. But what does success look like to you? Happiness. That's a nice one to begin with. Comfortable life. Fulfillment. Notice the variety of what success means to different individuals. How it's not the same for everyone. Some want love. Some want happiness. Some want to live life larger than they've lived before. Some want to make an impact on the world. But let me ask you this. Are you as successful as you want to be? Are you as successful as you want to be? Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not as successful as I want to be. I've had successes in the past, and I have successes every now and again. But I'm not always as successful as I want to be. And when you think about your life and think about the things that you've done in your life, have you always been as successful as you want to be? And if not, then I need to ask you one really important question, one that I want you to think about throughout this presentation. And that's, are you the barrier to your own success? The reason I ask that question is because I found in the past that as I've reviewed what success meant to me, and when I didn't quite get there, that I was my own barrier, that I was preventing myself from getting there. Toastmaster Nuha this morning mentioned that the first step to success is taking that step. But what happens and prevents us from taking that very first step? And if we've taken that step, and that should be our road to success, what stops us from getting there? And as I've thought about this, I've realized that for me, there have been three primary barriers to my ability to reach success or be as successful as I would like to be. And as we go through these barriers, as we talk about them today, I want you to think to yourself, is this a barrier that's in front of me? And if it is, can I get rid of it to help myself become successful? The first primary barrier that is in front of us, believe it or not, are words. They're the words we use, the words we hear. They're often times words that we constantly hear nagging in the back of our head, especially when we're trying to be successful, when we're trying new things. They may be words that we've heard our entire life, and we just can't get rid of them. The second primary barrier to our success is fear. And we're going to talk about each one of these barriers in a little bit more detail. But the second one is fear. And there's three primary types of fear that I'm going to talk about today. And there's one that you probably won't believe is a fear that can stop you. Can stop you. And the third is who we associate with. Now, this is a tough one because who we associate with and those individuals may be people who are near and dear to us. They may be friends. They may be family. And they may be stopping us from achieving what we want, from achieving our success. Let's talk about each one of these primary barriers. So the first one, words. It's words like can't and won't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't. Stop. Just stop. Those words, that not at the end of them, the N apostrophe T, are words that have already disabled you before you've even started, before you've even had a chance. When you think about those words, do you hear people saying them to you? Did you hear them as you were growing up? You can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not athletic enough. I wouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Was it a friend? Was it a family member? A stranger? Or were you saying it to yourself? Were you telling yourself that you can't do something? That you couldn't do something? Let me ask you, which one of these phrases seems to be more harmful? I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Or you can't do it. You're not good enough. Which statement to you sounds more harmful?
The first one.
The first
Same.
one. The first one. I like that. That would, because that's my opinion too, is that it's the first one that is the most harmful. And the reason I say that is because the first one is self-doubt. If you're telling yourself that you can't do something, that you're not good enough, then that's self-doubt. You can't do it, you're not good enough, is somebody else telling you that. Guess what? Get away from those people. If you can't hear them, they can't stop you. But until you can run away from the self-doubt, there's nothing else you can do. So I want you to repeat after me. You don't have to turn your speakers on, but I want you to repeat after me. I can do it, and I am good enough. Because you are.
I can do it and I'm good enough.
I can't do it. I'm not good enough.
Doesn't it feel good when you say that? I can do it. I am good enough. Doesn't that give you faith, revitalize you, make you want to try something? What's the worst that could happen if you try something and you don't have the outcome you want? You've learned something, which is skill. You've gained knowledge. You have the ability to try something again. And now you're on a path to success. Thomas Edison failed, quote unquote, at making the light bulb 9,999 times. He succeeded on the 10,000th. When asked about his failures, his response was, I didn't fail to invent the light bulb 9,999 times. I found new ways not to invent a light bulb. Perspective. It's how we view things. Don't let that voice inside of you be the voice that stops you. You can do it, and you are good enough. Actually, you're probably better than good enough. You're just not giving yourself credit. The next barrier to our success is fear. And there's three primary fears that I want to talk to you about today. And the first is xenophobia. Now, xenophobia in recent years has become a term related to the fear of people. But xenophobia in its original form was fear of the unknown. How often are we afraid to do something because we're not sure of the outcome? We're not sure how to start it. We're not sure how to take that first step, as Toastmaster Nuha mentioned earlier. And if we have that fear and we have those words in the back of our head going, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, then you won't. And that fear has stopped you before you've even had a chance at success. The next fear is a teachophobia. And a teachophobia is a very real fear. It's one we all have. It's a fear of failure. And it's not just the fear of failure. It's the fear of what failure might look like, what it might mean. If I try something and I fail, am I going to be embarrassed? Are my family, my friends going to ridicule me? Am I going to tuck my head down in shame? Or does failure mean that something terrible happens from it? The fear of failure is real, and each one of us has it. You know, it was mentioned in my introduction that I'm a professionally licensed race car driver. Every time I get in the car and head down the racetrack, there's a fear of failure. But I have to have my faith overcome my fear of failure. Because in that sport, if I fail, I can get hurt. So I have to have faith in myself. And I surrounded myself with people who have faith in me as well. So even if we're not as successful, there's no one there who's going to ridicule you or feel embarrassed. But the fear of failure. Now, the next one is one that you might not believe. And I had to read it 2 or 3 times to find it to be accurate. Achievemophobia. The fear of being successful. The fear of being successful. Can you believe that? That there is actually people who are afraid of achieving something, afraid of having that success. And why are they afraid of success? Why are they afraid of achieving something? Well, because they go back to fear of failure. Because I've achieved something the first time. I now have to achieve something again, over and over and over. And if I don't achieve it, then I failure. It's been a failure. So now everything progresses backwards again. The other thing is if I'm successful, if you're successful, you may have to leave your friends and family behind because you need to continue that level of success. It puts you in a different environment. It separates you from others. And if you're not able to come to grips with the fact that if I'm successful, it changes my status, it changes my life, it changes who I'm around, then it will be a crippling fear that won't allow you to move on. So xenophobia, ateachophobia, achievemophobia are all phobias, all fears that will prevent you from success. Now you add into that the words that we're using, and you can see how you're going to be stopped in your tracks, how you've put barriers up in front of you. But that's not all. It's also the people we associate with. And again, these could be friends, they could be family, they could be acquaintances. And I like to associate this with 2 types of animals. So the first are the crabs. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with a crab bucket, and this is how crabs, the analogy for crabs can be looked at. A crab bucket is a bucket full of live crabs, just been caught, ready to be taken to market. You'll notice that the crab on the top of the bucket is trying to get out of the bucket, trying to achieve some level of success for himself. But the crabs on the bottom are holding him by the legs. They don't want him to get out. They want to hold him down with them. Or, worse yet, try to climb over that person to get out for their own success. Do you know someone in your life like that? That is holding you back from getting your success, who's got you in a grip and won't let go? Is it you? Is it somebody dear to you? But is it somebody holding you back? I got news for you. If it's a friend that's holding you back from success, they're not really a friend. Friends should want you to be as successful as you can be. So avoid the crabs. Get out of the bucket. Have success. The next animal is the parrot. Now, we can see how a crab might be difficult in wanting to hold us back, but what is a parrot? And what people are those? Well, what do we know about a parrot other than that they're beautiful to look at? They're great colors.
They are very
They-
talkative.
They mimic us, right? They say back exactly what we say to them. Well, do you know someone who mimics you? Maybe you've said, I want to be successful as a writer. And they said, well, I've been a writer before. It's really not worth that amount of work. You're not going to be satisfied by it. And do you know how many hours it takes to do that? And you've got to get an agent and manuscripts. Just not worth it. Or maybe you say, I want to become a leader in the organization. And someone says, yeah, I've been there. You know what? It's all work, no glory, no sense in doing it. Why bother? Those people are feeding you exactly what you want to hear based on their experience. They don't want you to be successful. and they're just as damaging as the crabs are. Because you can walk away from the crab, but you've got to get that sound, that person speaking out of the back of your head. Because once it's in there, it's in there. Avoid the crabs and the parrots. If you want to achieve success, and I truly, truly believe this, because every time I've not achieved it, I can pinpoint the 3 items that I've just listed. Lose the N''T. It's no more I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, I wouldn't. It's I can, I will, I could, I should, and I would. It's embrace your fears. Know what they are. Face them. Overcome them. And avoid the crabs and parrots. They don't want you to be successful. But you do. My fellow Toastmasters, I tell you that I have followed this philosophy for years now. And any time that I haven't been successful, I can point to which one of those items kept me back, which one of those barriers I put up. But by taking a few minutes to take stock of yourself, to think about the words you're using, to think about how you're associating with, to embrace your fears, can change your world, and success will be in the palm of your hands. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Wow, such a heartwarming message, inspirational one. DTM, Richard Peck. Let us give DTM Peck, the international president, a round of applause. And with that, please watch this video as the Zoom master play it as a token of appreciation to you from the Horizon Toastmasters Club. I know DTM Betty Ann loved the video before, so you will love this one as well. Zoom master, please.
You had to let that out, huh?
Thank you very much, Zoom Master and DTM Peck. From the horizon to yours, this is the sand from the Saudi Arabia. I wish that we can hand this over to you soon in time, inshallah, as they say. This is a red sand from Riyadh. Thank you very much. As we go back to the main session, we will be witnessing or hearing the report of the timers as per the speeches of our prepared speakers. Timers report, Toastmaster President Umar Farouk, please.
Yes, I am the treasurer for today's. Time is money, so let's see. Today our speakers did so well. They did not spend too much time. So Toastmaster Pragya spent 6 minutes and 5 seconds on her speech, and Toastmaster Ricky spent 6 minutes and 30 seconds. And both are qualified for the votings. And over to you, Toastmaster Pragya.
All right then. Zoom Master, please launch the poll for the best speaker for tonight. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, please check your screen. You will be seeing the quick poll. While we are waiting for the result of the best speaker, as the vote counter will collecting the votes, we will be going to proceed with the table topic session. With this, it will be spearheaded by one of the most alluring princess of all times. She is one of the most traveled Toastmasters, having visited 133 clubs or countries all over the world to date. She is known to her friends as Princess, and if given one wish, she would love to be reunited with her mom again. The Wonder Woman, the Princess, Toastmaster Eliza Juliana, the Table Topic Masters.
Thank you very much, Crown Prince. But friendly speaking, your one wish you should not telling everyone here. It's too much, little bit. You know, we are going to be happy. So about the one wish, we need to have another one wish. So for today, one wish is about table topic. It's already midnight here. It's time for sahur actually. So marhaba to all my friends. Assalamualaikum and happy to come to Horizon Toastmaster Club. As everyone know that I always use my name Eliza from Singapore, but with the magic of the flying carpet, I'm with my family here in Saudi Arabia, Horizon Toastmaster Club, my number 4th club. So without a further ado, because I need to, before Umar angry with me about the money that I'm going to spend, so let Jayat show the table topic. Can you show me, can share the screen for me, Jayat? Thank you. Jayat, please help me to click one more time. Thank you. So, my today's table topic will be the Arabian Night Tales. Is on the theme, everyone need to tell me a tales. Please make me happy with all the tales that you are going to create by choosing the magical lamp. So the thing is, we need to begin with the it was one called Arabian Night. And you need to choose 3 words from the magical lamp, then build up your story. Do you understand? So you just need to choose from the magical lamp, 3 of it. Just choose the words, then build up a story. And the beginning need to start with, it was one called Arabian Night. So without further ado, I have a very special guest also that helping us to bring our President Richard Ipac here. So I invite me, Toastmaster Kelly Go. Is Miss Kelly here? Miss Kelly.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Marhaba.
Marhaba.
Marhaba. Ni hao ma. Chào
Hảo
anh.
All right.
Okay.
So
Now you need to choose 3 words. You need to choose 3 numbers. We are opening the magical lamp for you. Please choose 3 numbers.
Okay. I'll pick 3 numbers. 1, 6, 8.
If you're looking for that heat.
What was the third number?
8.
8.
8. 8.
8.
Yes. Okay, so your table topic is going to be, you need to create a story tales for me. Beginning, it was one called Night Arabian. Build up your story using the words gold, unicorn, and prisoner. The floor is yours.
All right. Gosh. It was one cold Arabian night. It was actually snowing. It has a big snowstorm. And those group of people are digging gold in this desert. And they are really hopeful for a bright future by getting rich. And so they are working really hard and digging deeper and deeper. And to their surprise, there are a couple of unicorns passed by them, and they were thinking these unicorns probably can help them to carry the amount of gold if they found a lot. And so they stopped those unicorns and keep digging out more golds. And they keep working and working, and eventually they really found a lot of golds, and they are so excited. And they put it on unicorn, and those unicorns carry them. But the unicorn actually can fly, and so they fly all those golds, and those people are so disappointed, and they were crying, and they eventually have to call the police. And the police was trying to help them and finally got the unicorns and put the unicorn in the prison. And so the ending was they got the golds and getting really rich, and very poor unicorns, they have to be prisoned for a while. That's it. It's really hard.
Thank you very much. It's a very good attempt. But yeah, I'm very sad why you need to put the unicorn as a prisoner. Okay, next, can I call Toastmaster Villamor? Toastmaster
Hello.
Villamor? Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Toastmaster
Hi.
Villamor, can you choose 3 numbers?
3, 9,
3?
and 10.
9 and 10. So, your typical topic going to be, it was one cold Arabian night using the play, piece, and boy. What is yours?
Wait. Who's the timer again? Can I ask? It's...
Play, piece, and
No. Who's the
boy.
timer? Who's the timer?
Oh,
Can I-
Umar.
Okay. Thank... there he is. Okay, so... It was one cold Arabian night when this handsome, charming, and smart boy by the name of Villamor, definitely not me, was playing in this peaceful forest. And this guy, this boy, this very handsome boy, was walking around this peaceful forest playing by himself when he saw a unicorn by the name of Lada. So Lada was prancing around, screaming holy hell and heavenly things out and about. And the boy was astonished. He was amazed by the prospect of Lada. He thought, who is this unicorn whose body was half human and half horse but walked upright? And he approached this unicorn and asked, how do you do that? How do you just become so happy? How do you just become so peaceful? And this unicorn, this wonderful person or horse, whatever you want to call her, said, well, I'm happy because I'm thinking of maybe in the next second, the next hour, the next minute, the next month, the next day, I might be gone. And when the day that I'm gone, do I really want to regret the things that I didn't do? Or do I just want to go out with a bang? And hey, that's been a minute, and thank you. Back to you, contest chair.
We are not in the contest, marhaba.
Right, marhaba. Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, maybe I just call. Sorry, I already have one person before you, Toastmaster Lency Souza. I will give you later, but before that, can I call Toastmaster Chad before? Because Chad is the one that he already volunteered first. Floor is yours. It's going to be very hot now because everybody is messaging me. Okay, Chad, can you choose 3 words, 3 numbers?
About 23, 24, and 25.
Okay. Tour, shadow, and night.
It was a cold Arabian night. Topic master Eliza invited me to the Horizon Toastmasters so I could say marhaba. I took a tour of the desert. Now, being from a coastal community, I think of the desert as something hot. So I didn't bring my jacket. I was lucky to run into a knight. And that knight had a wagon. And in that wagon, he had jackets. So I was able to get a jacket for that cold Arabian night. And with that, he was able to give me a tour of the desert I've never been before. So on my way to the club, thanks to Topic Master Eliza, I was able to get a tour of the desert, to meet a knight, and to buy a jacket. It's been a wonderful experience. And actually, it has been a wonderful experience being with you today. And that's my story. And we all lived happily ever after. Madam Topic Master.
Wow, Chad, thank you very much for the wonderful speech. And the last, without further ado, let me call Toastmaster Lency. I believe it's going to be my last volunteer for today. Okay, Toastmaster Lency, please pick the
13,
numbers.
13, 17, and 21.
Mother time and pancake.
It was one late Arabian night, and which coincided with this November 28, 2008. And that was when the tragedy happened out at the Taj Mahal Hotel, iconic in Mumbai, where there was a terrorist attack. Now, incidentally, at that point of time, there was a ICICI Bank. They had hosted about 200 people in the banquet hall, and the CEO is a mother. Now, she was talking about how 600 employees at the Taj Mahal iconic hotel stayed throughout the process, throughout the ordeal for those over 48 hours, and they had a terrorist attack and there were lives at stake. But as a mother, she said that there were kids. There were 1,500 500 guests on the premises, and all 1,500 guests escaped. And she says, as a mother and the way that they had, there was hardly any during that particular time. They were fed. The pantry was open. All the chefs made certain that everybody had pancakes along with the rest of the food out there. But the one thing that stands throughout the entire ordeal, and as a mother, she says, is that, we are so protective with our kids when it comes in and fiercely look after our kids in any danger, in any situation. And likewise, 600 employees, and this is still known as in TEDx as a world record, 600 employees stayed in their positions throughout those 48 hours, not leaving their place. In fact, 11 chefs sacrificed their lives trying to help all of them escape during that ordeal. The moral of the story in here is that she says, as a mother, I understand loyalty. I understand that you give me food, you give me time, you give me everything else. But the one thing that we've learned through all that is the courage. Courage is something that stands throughout. And in length and breadth, I would urge everybody, if you ever get a chance for an Arabian night, spend it on that day because there are lessons to be learned in that iconic place. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lancy. It's a great storytelling. And now I don't have time more, so actually I'm very sad for it. But whatever it is, I just want to let you know, this is the Arabian culture. Once you always overtime because Arabian never on time. So back to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Crown Prince Jeffrey.
Wallahi, anta mushkila ya Indonesia.
Ya, anda muskila, la muskila ya Chef.
Just kidding. Toastmaster Eliza, thank you for that wonderful and innovative session of the table topics and thought-provoking one. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, as the Zoom master launched the poll for our best table topic speaker, may we have the timers report, please?
Yes, we can have our timers report. Toastmaster Kelly Duo took 2 minutes and 30 seconds exact. And the toast, I think Velas is the guest, so he took 1 minute 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Chad Betts also took 1 minute and 25 seconds. And Toastmaster Lancy Dizzer took 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
All
So
right.
all are qualified.
Okay, Zoom Master, do you have the names of the participants? We have Toastmaster Kelly, Toastmaster Villamor, Toastmaster, who was the third one? Sorry?
Chad.
Toastmaster Chad and Toastmaster Lance.
See.
All right.
I don't have one.
We're ready for the poll.
All right, please launch it.
Fellow Toastmasters, kindly click on the name which you opt for. Please do not close the poll.
All right. I got it. Casted my vote. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with the evaluation session to be headed by our very dynamic and alluring, sophisticated as well, DTM Betty and Peg, the General Evaluator. Your Majesty, the floor and the kingdom is yours.
Assalamu Akbar. It's so nice to be here. And all those kind, flattering words, as I said earlier, will get you everywhere, Mr. Crown Prince. Now we go through our evaluators individually. And you all know this past Crown Prince of Horizon Toastmaster Club and a past area director / tonight king in the kingdom. To evaluate Priyajan's speech, and I'm hoping I get this right because with a name like Betty Ann, how can you mess someone else's name up? My apologies in advance. Srinivyasan, please give us your evaluation of our fabulous speaker this evening.
Marhaba Toastmaster General Evaluator for today's speech, today's meeting. Now, before I proceed on to my report, submitting my report, I just wanted to tell you that I have made effort to have this form that we usually fill, the judges form, in order to evaluate Toastmaster Pragya's speech today. Toastmaster Pragya, because this is not a competition for me and I'm not today, it is not, people are not going to evaluate or elect the best speaker evaluator today, I would like to start off with something like this. You started off with a question, drawing the attention of all the audience. That was one great stuff. And you had a message and you ably supported with, that was titled, from your title, the speech, you had a great message and your body of the body of your speech did support all these two. By drawing incidences from your own personal life at various stages, you made sure that you validate whatever you wanted to tell the audience. Finally, you closed out your speech by emphasizing and requesting members like our CC10, your CC10, and asking them to do something that you wanted to say. That way you have completed your speech very well. Now, following the pathway style, I would like to evaluate your speech into three: what you excelled at, what I would like you to challenge yourself, and what you can improve upon. Now, what you excelled at is that the speech itself was great, and throughout the speech, you had a cute little smile that you carried with on your face. That is really impressive. That is one thing that may be an impressive to the audience itself. Number one, I would like you to continue doing that in your setup. The second thing that I would like to see is that what you would like to challenge yourself. You had voice modulation, but then what voice modulation is not just increasing your tone and this one, but the rate of speech. I would like you to concentrate on the rate of speech. That is also counted as the voice modulation. Number two, you did have stage movements, but the stage movements, as we always say, it has to be purposeful. When you are talking about your mother, a character rather, you select a place, and every time you speak about that character, you have to come to that area where you have designed, so that the audience can relate to that places. Like when you speak about your mother, come to a place and speak about that. When you want to speak about your husband, you come to that place and speak. That way, the stage movement becomes more purposeful. And the transition, you did start off with the question. You started with your childhood, your school days, and you went on up to that your life stages. But then there was something missing in that area. You have to work on the transition, particularly when you are talking about your personal life, when you were not a part of your family. That you have to work on that. Now, the things that I would like to see some improvement is your camera setup itself, the background. At that point, like just above your head, there was some light. It was sort of distracting. Maybe now in your club meetings, probably we all could ignore. But when you're on the set act, when people are there, that could be a point of distraction. So better to have a nice background initially before you start your speech. Now, I would like you to be as close as to the camera as possible, because we would like to see your facial expressions also. So being very far, of course, you would like to make sure that you are showing your gestures and stage movements and all that, but then that facial expression is missing. So try to balance the distance also, and the close distance between the camera also, and the prop usages. Prop usages, you started at that stage, and then we could not see if you had shown the prop, that you are using that prop, and later on you had a prop that was of black color. So you started off with a white prop and went on to a black prop, and then thrown that kind of things. I would like to see you some improvement on that. The third and final is your pauses. You finished your speech with 6 minutes and 5 seconds. You still had too much of time for you to have the pauses so that the message is delivered across. Sometimes when there is sad events that you are trying to say, you can pause so that the message is carried to across to the audience. Having said that, I wish you all the best in your next step, which is the attack, and we hope, like the Horizons family of winners, to be your one of you. And with that, I will hand over lectern back to the general evaluator. Marhaba.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Someone was paying attention, and I much appreciate that. Now, our second speech evaluator that will be evaluating Ricky's speech is a mysterious beauty. She comes from other royalty in Mumbai area, and she has spoken and been a finalist in division, district, international speech contests. She's been a finalist in Area 82, Division B, District 98 table topics. She's epic. She's beautiful. She's flowing. Another fabulous princess evaluator, Sanjita, please give us your evaluation for Ricky's speech.
Marhaba, thank you so much, Toastmaster Betian, for those awesome introduction. I'm flattered. Marhaba, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially Marhaba, Ricky. Ricky, you said music is the language of, is a universal language. To me, your speech was music, the language of love. You started off your speech with this beautiful song and instantly caught my attention. I was always smiling all through listening to your speech. Your speech had beautiful components. It was eloquent, it had the comfort, and it had the confidence. Your style demonstrated that you are an enthusiastic communicator, an initiator, you bet, and you influenced me surely. I felt humor infused and blended while you shared your life experiences to bring out the essence of communication. The experience that in Italy, where people thought you were Chinese and you were, all you wanted was to order a pizza. And then talking to your mother, instantly you changed your voice to a Korean style of communication, although it was in English, was hilarious. And of course, the Britisher took away the chair at the Starbucks, was perfectly giving you your speech the message that you wanted to convey, that communication is about understanding, and it is so important for the sender to send his message for the receiver to send the for the sender to send his message to the receiver and complete the communication loop. Your speech was absolutely flawless, perfect vocal variety, various vocal variety used, intonations, and body language was superb. I had a real tough time finding out what could I give a recommendation to Ricky. But then, being the kind of communicator that you are, I would like you to challenge yourself by engaging the audience in your story by throwing some questions to them and looping them in your conversation, in your speech. And having done that, it was a flawless, beautifully delivered speech, and I'm looking forward to hear your humorous style of giving your speech. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Betian.
Thank you so much, Princess Sanjita. Now, there's a lot of important people in this royal family tonight. And I have to tell you, as Toastmasters, we all know who that person is. He's the keeper of the cash, the keeper of the funds. He's the one that makes sure all the members of the royal family stay in good money health. We know him as maybe a petroleum engineer, perhaps? Not sure. Has he ever placed in a speech contest? By gosh, he did. He finished second in the Area 31 Tall Tales speech in 2020, which is a slippery slope for a treasurer of a club to have, telling tall tales. Yes, the money's in the bag. Please welcome Mohammed Hassan, our table topics evaluator this evening. Mohammed.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator, for this wonderful introduction. Marhaba once again, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Journal Evaluator, and a very special good evening to all the table topics participants. Before my report, I would like to thank Toastmaster Aliza for the wonderful concept of the table topics. It was indeed a very challenging one. Moving on to the feedback of our first speaker, Toastmaster Miss Kelly Go. Your words were gold, unicorn, and prisoner. You took your time in digesting the topic and come up with a reasonable answer, which is a very nice strategy to come up with a better response that you did. You were able to use all the words in your tall tales and you connected it so well. I have noticed that you were using hand gesture, which is again a very good strategy to assert one's point, but I have also noticed that they were incoherent to the speech. If gestures are moderated well and with a strong conclusion, this could have been an award-winning speech. Our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Villamur Laga, your words were peace, boy, and play. I should comment on the way you started the speech. Honestly, that deserves a huge round of applause because your first sentence had each word which was presented to you. A boy, Villamor, playing in the peaceful forest. Simply awesome. Your speech had a good opening body, but I have noticed that it had an abrupt end. If that could have been concluded well without mentioning that 1 minute is up, you could have a greater impact on your audience. Moving on to speaker number 3, Toastmaster Chad Betts. Your words were tour, shadow, and night. A very nice story involving Toastmaster Eliza, very good strategy. Your speech had a good body, but you did not consume 2 other words which were shadow and night, or I might have missed those. Your conclusion was great, could have created more impact with the fulfillment of the topic. Moving on to speaker number 4, Toastmaster Lancy D'Souza. Your words were mother, time, and pancake. I would say wow to your speech with such a perfect opening, body, and conclusion. A very emotional story, real life example. It couldn't have gotten any better than this. With little emotion, this could have been the best speech of the table topics. This concludes my evaluation. Hope to see you all again soon rocking the stage with amazing impromptu skills. Back to you, Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate that, Mohammed. Now, in true fashion of Horizon Club, our next evaluator, small in stature, but big in heart. And he's the perfect evaluator for our grammarian. As you know about his nurturing positivism, which yes is a word, please help us welcome Artie to be the evaluator for our grammarian this evening. Artie.
Thank you, Vetian. Hello, good evening again, everyone. Marhaba. I must congratulate everybody for using the word of the day, which is marhaba. It's a very welcoming word, and it's very apt to our theme for tonight, which is Arabian Nights, because Middle Eastern people are very generous in welcoming their guests. And welcome to Horizons Toastmasters Club once again. Now, I'd like to commend the people who use the word of the day, which almost everybody used the word of the day. Thank you. And these are the gems for tonight's meeting. We are amazing the way we are. In communication, it is important to hear what is not being said. If you can't hear them, they can't stop you. Success is in the palm of your hands. I can do it. I am good enough. With that, thank you everybody for sharing your wisdom and for using that word of the day, marhaba. Welcome again, and we hope that this is not the first and the last time that you'll be joining us in Horizons. Welcome, you are always welcome to Horizons. This is not only the home of the champions, but the home of the leaders around the world. Back to you, Betty Ann.
Thank you so much, your royal family member presence. Loved it. Now, our last evaluator this evening, I'm hoping will possibly sing his evaluation, since he's a member of the Capella Choir right here at my second home in Saudi Arabia. But he's an educator by profession, and his entrepreneurship within our royal family tonight will be expressed by Mr. Noel Invento, evaluating the A counter. Noel.
Good evening once again. This is the second time I'm playing this role, the counter, and I have noticed that you people have a way of making me look so bad in playing this role. I know I can do the job. I know I am good enough. There's no self-doubt going on right now. And by the way, respected general evaluator, I was paying attention, I swear. But these people just did their job so well. What can I do? Thankfully, there was the table topic session. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noted down one thing tonight. So aside from Toastmaster Ricky, who used one time, and Kelly Go, who overused the word and, Lance Sosa, who overused like 5 times, there's only one person who used these undesirable words tonight, and that's Toastmaster Noel, who used all these words. And that's me. And that's when I introduced my role. Back to you, General Evaluator.
That was very sneaky. I like that. So thank you very much, all of the royal family members that participated in these fabulous functionary roles. What I would now like to do is turn the meeting over to our Toastmaster, or did you want me to give my final evaluation for the evening, your Crown Prince?
You may give it, Madam Royal
Awesome.
Highness,
Awesome.
Majesty.
I hope that's a word that's good for our club tonight. And we all do things differently throughout the world, but we all do things very similar. And I was pleased to see that, one, you were very conscientious about starting on time. And I have to commend everyone within this club, because you can go on half an hour before the meeting starts and everyone's there and they're getting all the greetings and everybody's talking, chitter chattering. And as soon as the clock strikes 7:15, you are on. So I really like that. The theme aspect, which you repeat quite a bit, is nice. I enjoy it. It gives everybody a little bit of focus. Our club meets once a week, so we could never pull that off. But it did get people involved. I think you kept everybody in that involvement. And I really, truly applaud you for having the evaluators reading the purpose of the speaker's speech. In our club in the United States, one of them, the Toastmaster, takes care of that. And the general evaluator introduces all of the functionaries, probably because they don't want to work so hard. But I really thought that that helped the evaluators, even as they're speaking. Sometimes we're a little unprepared maybe, and it's a nice jolt to get everybody focused. I wrote so many notes. My gosh. I want to say thank you and commend you all for stepping up to roles that occasionally people cannot attend, and that went through flawlessly. You streamed through quite a bit. The royal family of functionaries, all of you, Assalamu alaikum. That's all I can say. You stepped up to the roles. Umar, our timer, Lada, loved the fun master aspect, and our counter, Noel. Again, in other clubs, the counter is also the grammarian. But you have enough people that they volunteer to take on these, what we consider extra roles. So that's a fabulous way to do it. And Artie, our grammarian, thank you. The table topics was handled brilliantly. I will say that as I listened, I did hear extra words from Chad because I was counting them off. So I did want to give a shout out to him for that. Not stepping on any toes, Artie, at all. And our Crown Prince, Jeffrey. You handled the meeting delightfully. Your transitions were good, and it kept everything on track. My only suggestion would be that when we have such a packed agenda in the meeting, there was some catch-up time for finishing. We don't want to keep people too late. And I would say try to accommodate that some of those educational roles within the fun master aspect to a little bit shorter time span to allow for the extra timing of more speakers. So that would be my only thought for consideration. Otherwise, it was a fabulous evening. It flowed well. You had fabulous guests, fabulous family, royal, all. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our general evaluator for that report, and well noted, duly noted that your suggestion will be taken into account. Fellow Toastmasters, as we reach to come to an end, this meeting will still lingers in our memories. But to announce the most loved performance on the Fan Master, the crowd favorite, I would give it due to the clamor of the public. We have Twyla Waiferu. Congratulations to your belly dancing performance, DTM Twyla Waiferu. And with that, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, and our welcome guests all over the world, and all my beloved club, Horizon, and my second club, the PTAB, or the Philippine Teachers Association in Bahrain. This is Jeffrey Aquino saying, which or whatever race you were raised to or born to, whatever ethnicity you belong to, it doesn't matter. What matters is the love and compassion. The love and compassion that starts with friendship. And this Toastmasters fraternity is a great platform for us to start little by little friendship that becomes family. So we are now familyship. I coined the term friendship and family in one as a familyship. Fellow Toastmasters, let us keep the love burning and the compassion on a high level. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I will go back to our both counter, or the Zoom master rather, to announce the results of the poll that we have launched for the best prepared speakers. Mr. Zoom master?
Dear Toastmaster of the Day, could you please request for the timer's report for the evaluation?
Taken into that account, may I request the timer's report for the evaluators?
Yes, timer's report for the first speech evaluator, it was Toastmaster Srinivasan, it is 4 minutes and 2 seconds. And second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Sangeeta, it is 2 minutes and 52 seconds. And table topics evaluator, it is Toastmaster Hassan, it is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And grammarian, our language evaluator, his report was 1 minute and 30 seconds. So
All right then.
Okay, so one is only qualified, so no need for I think the voting. So only Toastmaster Sangeeta is qualified for the voting. So anyway, she is the winner by
Congratulations,
default.
Toastmaster Sangeeta. Vote counter, may we have the result for the best prepared speaker?
Sure, just give me a second.
Sure. While we are waiting, I would like to shout out to our region advisor DTM James Edward Taruk. I saw him here, and of course my fellow Bahrain delegate to the DTAC, Tosin. How are you? Best of luck, buddy, on our quest for the district championship. We also have our constant guest, Petra from Thailand. Hi, Petra. And to the leaders of District 79 and all over the world, thank you for joining us here as we celebrate our 300 meeting. Again, shout out to my PTAB family in Bahrain.
Dear Mori, we're good to go.
Yes, please. Dun, 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 dun. The best prepared speaker award goes to Master Ricardo Spotlight, Toastmaster Ricky. Okay, we have the next awardee. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ricky, Mr. International. The best table topic speaker. And the award goes to dun, 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 dun. Toastmaster Charbet. Congratulations. And for those who wish to speak for the table topics a while ago, I'm sorry, but we have a limited time for that. Please join our meeting next meeting so you can take the spot and be the best speaker for the table topics. And lastly, may I give back the floor to our soon-to-be leader in our area, inshallah. Our president, presiding officer, Toastmaster Ricky, joining us, Toastmaster Umar Farouk.
Okay. Hello.
Toastmaster Sangeeta for winning the best evaluator. We have announced already. Thank you very much and congratulations. Toastmaster Ricky, Toastmaster Umar, the floor is yours. I know both of you can speak up.
Okay, great, wonderful, Toastmaster Jeffrey. Let's give a big round of applause to our crown prince for such an amazing and awesome job. Great, our champion speaker. You were completely personified as the prince, and you did it so well.
Shukran,
Wonderful,
shukran, ya
great,
Habib.
great, wonderful. And what a meeting it has been. We have been in the presence of royalty, and we have been blessed and honored to have you all with us. Our distinguished Toastmaster, our international president, Toastmaster Ricky Chudi, this Richard E. Peck, and his wife, the distinguished Toastmaster Betty and Peck. Wonderful to have you with us, and great. Can we have some words of wisdom from distinguished Toastmaster Richard E. Peck? From you, please.
Well, thank you. I don't know if I can give any more wisdom than you have given out today. What a great club this has been. I truly enjoy visiting clubs where it's a culturally immersive event. And you did that today. I only wish I would have put on my Arabic outfit to be in this meeting, which I still have. In this environment where we have individuals joining us from around the world, where we've shrunk the distance between us, it's really great to see people share a little bit about themselves, a little bit about their culture, their country, being immersive. When we think about members who are here today, for some of them, this may be the only time they get to visit your club, the only time they get to visit Saudi Arabia. And being able to provide this type of environment for them is just a tremendous gift. And I know you give it without thinking of it that way. But those of us who join you take it as a gift, as a personal gift to us. The theme of the Arabian Nights was great. I was wondering if we were going to go through 1,000 nights plus a night, or whether we were going to go through the cartoon version of it. But it was nice to see how it all played out. I also enjoyed the fact that there was a lot of fun in this meeting. And it can be stressful sometime meeting, putting these things together, these theme meetings, making sure that everything is working well. And you had fun with it. And that was really, really something to enjoy. Something to enjoy. I have no doubt that you're going to continue to be successful for many hundreds of more meetings. 300 just to start. Wait till you add that next zero behind it. Wait till you add that next zero behind it. And when you think about the number, I don't want you to focus on the number so much. What I want you to focus on is the impact that you have made on your members, your community, and on the world in each and every one of those meetings. I hope you all stay safe and healthy throughout the remainder of this craziness that we're dealing with right now. And that someday, Betty Ann and I will be able to meet with you in Saudi Arabia and experience the club in person. Mr. President, I turn the floor back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Richie Peck, for such lovely words of encouragement and appreciation. And I would love to give you the certificate of appreciation from our side. Zoom Master, can we have the certificate of appreciation for distinguished Toastmaster, our International President Richie Peck? Zoom Master.
Sure.
This is from our side as a token of gratitude and certificate of appreciation for your wonderful keynote speech and being our guest of honor. It is great to have you with us. We love to have you in our future meeting also, distinguished Toastmaster Richie Peck. And for Her Majesty also, distinguished Toastmaster Betty Ann Peck, we have our certificate of appreciation for you as well, as our general evaluator.
Don't tax that poor sergeant. Don't tax that poor Zoom master.
Excuse me, Zoom master. I'm so sorry. Please just direct share the video so we can save the time.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Betty Ann, for your lovely service as general evaluator for our 300th meeting. So now can we, and also for our Zoom master, first of all, I will not forget our Zoom master. He did such an awesome and amazing job. Wonderful and awesome job as a Zoom master. Thank you, Toastmaster J.R. George, your certificate of appreciation. It is great to have you with us, and it was wonderful token of appreciation. So, Toastmaster J.R.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
wonderful. Can we have the video of gratitude?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. So this is the beauty of our Toastmasters meeting. We learn about what masks are, what masks we wear. We learn about languages and communication, and we learn about what are the barriers to success, fear, words, and crabs and parrots. So in one meeting, we can learn so many things, and that's the
Point of
beauty.
order, dear President. I would
Yes.
like to also thank a guest, Toastmaster Samantha, for helping me out throughout the Zoom. She was a big helping hand for me, and I just want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Samantha.
Sponsor Samantha, great, you have done well done, and we appreciate your effort and support. Wonderful. So, and with this, as presiding officer of this meeting, I would adjourn this meeting, and let's have some chit chat and
Can we
get
take a
feedback.
group picture?
Can we have
My
a group
family
picture also,
picture.
of course?
Okay,
Of
everyone.
course, everybody
Smile.
put on the video.
Yes.
And we'll have a smiling picture. Say cheese. Zoom master also video on. Joe, say cheese.
Okay, ready? Take crazy picture. One normal.
One abnormal also. Huh?
Okay, one normal.
Cheese, cheddar cheese.
Okay, now abnormal.
Now,
Your hands up. Woo!
the new normal. Huh?
I think that's your normal, Lada. You reversed it.
Oh, it is.
You reversed it, girl.
One more
Yes.
crazy. Let's go crazy. One more, one more. Woo! Thank you.
Crazy.
I did reverse it. You're right.
Yes, your crazy is normal.
There you go. There you go. Exactly.
Yes.
And you all accept me as I am, and I appreciate that.
Yes. We have with us Toastmaster
Oh,
Aneta.
yeah.
Aneta works. How? Give us your feedback.
Thank you so much. I'll keep it short and sweet. This was amazing. And then it was priceless because we had our Toastmasters International President and First Lady, Betty Ann Beck. Thank you so much. I'm always amazed and inspired. And yes, this is one of the clubs in all of Toastmasters that is home of champions. And I was an honor and a privilege to be here today and participate. I love this background. It is going to be tweeted, Facebook, Instagram, everything today to let the world know where I was today and they missed. Thank you.
That's called ripple effect. And great to have you with us, Aneta. We look forward to seeing you in our future meeting. We have Chad is with us. Chad, tell us more about the meeting. How was it?
I had a fantastic time. I really appreciate being invited. I love the formality of the meeting, introducing with titles and how it flows through the agenda. I just, it was fantastic. It was a great experience for me. I learned a lot. The evaluation for the table topics is something I'm going to take back to my club as an idea. So thank you very much. It was a fantastic meeting.
Great to have you with us, Chad. We have with us Ladon Davis. Ladon. She was there with us from the start. You are on mute.
Perfect. There we go. Thank you to Eliza for inviting me. I think this was really fun. I'm very impressed by your videos and just Zoom skills. And I think you've got great ideas to take to other clubs. I'm very obvious I'm a champion.
Thank you, Ladon. We have guest Babu is with us from India.
Good evening. Thank you, Toastmaster Umar and Toastmaster Sangeeta, for having me over today. For me, it was a nostalgia of sorts, a throwback to my Gulf days when I was resident in Oman. So it was a bit of homecoming, nostalgia, and the rest of it. And of course, it was indeed a privilege to hear the international president and the First Lady. The first time I'm hearing them, I'm indeed honored. and I do hope that I get to hear them all over again. Thanks, Omar, once again, and thanks, Sangeeta. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Babu. It was great to have you with us. And it was indeed a wonderful learning session for us from both the husband and wife, Her Majesty and the distinguished Mother Chitty Peck. So we have with us Twyla. Twyla is with us. Twyla? Twyla, our belly dancer winner. You are on mute. This is the only platform in which husband can mute his wife, huh?
It was fun. When you have a meeting that's fun, you learn more. Because I was alert and awake and watching everybody and listening to everything. So I took notes as the speakers were speaking. So I too will be reporting back to my 10 different clubs about the things I learned this morning. So
Great. Great to have you, Lada. Vipul is with us. Vipul, how was the meeting?
It was a great meet. I learned a lot, and so positive people and so energetic, so smiley face people. Thank you so much.
Yes, smile is contagious, and if you are happy inside, you are happy outside. It's contagious. It's an inside job, you know. That is the secret to the happiness. Okay, so we have with us Sarah is with us. Sarah, our keen listener of the meeting.
Was that me?
Yes, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for calling on me. I've had a marvelous time. I just wish I'd been here for the first hour. I'm sorry I got the time mixed up and thought you were starting at 10 o'clock my time rather than 9. But to my absolute joy, I made it for all the core parts, especially the speeches and Richard's keynote, which was an absolute highlight. I'm impressed with the energy and the fun-loving nature of this club. And you really got me thinking about theme meetings. And I'd love to see my own club incorporate more of this because it's fun. And I appreciate the wonderful modeling and the costumes. At first, I thought it was real. You were really royals. And then I realized, oh, they're just having fun. So thank you for all of that. And I wish you much success in the times to come.
Yes.
Can I ask for something?
Yes, Elisa.
Before Richard leave?